Ramadan Kareem. Ramadan is upon us now. The dress code, the spiritual nature of Ramadan brings with it a number of unwritten rules that individuals are expected to abide by, which many seem to fail at. A number of residents have said. Now, these unwritten rules include dressing modestly in public during the holy month of Ramadan.
Right, so it's Friday, and for many of you, especially the young people, you have plans of going out, and you have to bear in mind that modesty is a Ramadan requirement. So to get clearly the do's and don'ts when it comes to dressing during Ramadan, once again we have Mr. Haj Nsereko Mutumba. He is the PRO of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, and to balance the boat, literally, we have Ms. Zaituni Ikakyama. She is a psychological counselor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Haji, we have had you here before. I am going to start with the lady today.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because
ladies first.
Yes, it's always ladies
first. First of
first.
all, we respect them a lot, and
Yes.
they have a very, very big place in Islam.
Okay.
So, Assalamu alaikum, viewers.
Yes. Oh, you can greet the viewers before I start greeting
Assalamu
you.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Now the greeting has started.
That is the blessings to everybody who is watching us.
Amen. Hajat,
Yes, sir.
I am one of those people that has been bothered. Ramadan is here. But let us not even just only look at Ramadan. How is a Muslim lady expected or supposed to dress? Let's even put aside Ramadan, because it's extra because Ramadan is extra.
Holier.
It's holier. How is a lady expected to dress?
We shall start with a lady
With a lady.
without the Muslim connotation.
Oh.
A lady is supposed to dress and cover all the things that she thinks are attractive on her body.
Oh.
That should be like, it should cast the line across. Everything that you feel is attractive on your body, everything
Cover
you
it.
feel that is beautiful on your body should be covered.
Wow.
Open
So if I feel my hands are beautiful, what happens?
You go on and cover them. Have you seen anybody covering them? You haven't seen a hand
Yes,
yet
I
putting
have.
on gloves?
Yeah. Wow.
The minute
And you're
feel-
talking about across.
it goes to all the ladies out there.
Okay.
Wow.
Then we shall go to the Muslim, then maybe when we come to the Muslim, then we shall then start getting the right.
Don't you think you're going to have troubles because some people think their eyes are attractive?
You go on and cover them.
How will I walk?
That is a statement that doesn't change.
Okay.
Everything you feel is beautiful and attractive.
Cover it.
The minute you're getting out there, cover it.
Hajat, someone is going to ask, what is the meaning of beauty if I can show it?
If you can't show it, beauty is a gift from God, and beauty lies in the hands of the beholder, like they say. Of course, maybe the question will be like, if I don't feel this is beautiful, maybe, and then someone thinks the legs are not beautiful, and then they will. But I think this is the measurement is inside you.
Okay.
You look in your, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you know the booty is on and it's good. The waist is there, the skin is there. You can measure yourself before you move out. Before your husband tells you you're smart, you will feel smart.
You just mentioned something very interesting. We were having a conversation with Mala yesterday about the booty. And I'm one of those people that believes that these days we in Africa we are blessed.
Yes, we are.
Our women are curvaceous. They're bootylicious. And they show it.
Yes, they do.
Even with our...
Actually, it has a kind of been officiated.
Yes.
To show.
To show it. Now with you find a clean, proper Muslim lady.
Yes.
With her Muslim wear.
Yes.
Showing the curves. And everything. Let's start
Let's go to the Islamic connotation, maybe. The other one was for everybody.
Yes.
But Allah tells us in the Holy Quran, actually He told the Prophet, the last Prophet to the universe, that you tell your wives, okay?
Haji.
Tell your wives, tell the believing women, because hijab is for believing women, by the way. Dressing like this is for believers. So it will come in, the other one who puts on the curves probably is not believing some part of it.
Okay.
But tell the believing women, tell your wives, the believing women, and the women of the believers, Hope I'm clear. I might not make the whole thing so straight. But you tell your wives, the believing women and the wives of the believing women, and to dress up and cover their endowments. That is the beauty, the attraction, to cover their endowments. And actually, the specification is cover their bosoms.
Okay.
You know, you cover their bosoms. Because most of the time, this is where the problem is.
Okay.
Here on the chest. And then maybe if the problem is at the back, if they've told you to cover here, I think then it doesn't have to, you don't have to be in a classroom to be told to cover the other curve. Okay, so the Muslim women out there, thank you for bringing this point on NTV. Muslim women out there have been challenged today. The dress code has been defiled, if I should use that word. It has been spoiled. We are supposed to cover our curves. One of the characteristics of the hijab or the dress code of a Muslim woman, it should cover all the body shape should not be seen.
Wow. Haj,
Yeah.
let's bring you in on this one before we even move on to matters to do with men and decency and modesty. Let's talk about your view when you walk on the streets or you just go to the mosque, because nowadays you've said that even the hijab, the dress code of the Muslims has evolved. Now you can be covering everything, but you can see your curves. Is it halal or haram, especially someone who even goes to the mosque looking like that?
You see, the rationale of dressing, mainly for you women, the inside story you have, I should put on this in order to, and that's the haram.
So if you have the intention of luring someone,
That is the intention. No, you see, someone puts on a kanzu, for example, today. I know it's a Friday day. I have to go for prayers. Now, in the first place, why do you show your calves? To who? To do what? That insertion is the haram. Because you have an intention. Otherwise, that intention is known by you and your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Secondly, if at all we go worldly, do valuable things are exposed. If you want gold, how many feet do you go deep?
very deep.
How about diamond?
Very deep as well.
But now you have your diamond, but you're exposing it. Is it, for example, now because I happen to have many relatives of Catholic faith, but I have seen portraits of Bikira Maria in churches. I have never seen a Bikira Maria putting on these covers dresses or attractive dresses. Their dress code have been like Muslim code, even many of the Jews,
yes.
Because I happened to go to Israel and some parts of that.
You have mentioned that it's haram when the intention is to lure someone else. So if my intention is just, I want to feel good, I just want to look good, because
No.
it does something to me. I'm doing it for myself. Is that haram as well?
In reasoning, you might be, but the inside story is different.
Maybe the counseling point of
That's
view, the psychological point of view. First and foremost, women need to know themselves. You first of all need to know what you are in this world. Allah created Eve, the first woman on earth, to be a companion to the male. And he put these curves, before we even were here, he knew that we needed the sharp noses, the small skin, the small waist and the hips, before we even thought we'd be here. But then he is the same person who tells us that now, lady, cover those curves, okay? Secondly, you want to feel good, right? But when you feel good, it doesn't mean you're beautiful. Your feeling good should be positive. It should have value to the society itself, because your feeling good should not make this other person, because most of the time when we want to notice or even be, disorganized. Because when males, when males get used to these curves today, actually that is why we don't have a lot of strength in the nose, because they are now used to the curves. But naturally, a woman, when the curves are out, they disorganize the society.
And yet, this is what happens. I have seen them in malls when they go to buy those clothes. She stands.
Yes.
They put it on. And she claims she can't see her calves. She doesn't, it's too big. Like she asked, is that wrong? If she wants to put on something
and feel good,
she doesn't. If she puts on a very baggy, big thing that is all over the place,
like the one I'm putting on,
she's not going to feel free. She's not going to be able to get into her taxi properly. She's not going to be able to sit on the border properly. At work, it's going to be, when she goes to the bathroom, it's going to take longer. So she decides to choose
you know,
something that is more comfortable for her.
The one that holds the calves is more comfortable.
Yes.
It's freer to get on a border.
Yes.
Realistically, because I put on the big clothes. For you're on hearsay. Let me use my experience. First and foremost, when you're going to the loos and you're putting on a tight jean, a woman, they'll testify. Me who has these loose garments, when I get into that loo, I don't want to express what I do.
Yes.
You just throw the loose garments and you do what you
And
want.
then the border.
But the tight jean,
the border.
the border. Have you seen
border.
the Somali ladies? They in Uganda, I think they have the biggest clothes, and they use. I think most of them. You'll never find a Somali woman walking if she's going on a journey. They're always on border or in private cars.
But let me ask you this, Zaituni.
Yes.
We've seen this Muslim attires for ladies evolve. They now even have fashion to it. You find with glitters and stuff like that. And you're the women who see this. I mean, you've gone through. You have gone ahead of us, right?
That's very short. Hijab. This dress code, the one of the looseness and the tight, the dark colors, and because those are characteristics, it's for the outside world. When you're going to work, when you're going to interact with the rest of the public, especially where they're not relatives, you then have to cover so that you don't attract people who you don't need to attract. But when it gets to the inside, when I'm in my house or when I'm with my girlfriends, you don't want to know what is there, because I can even move naked if I felt like.
Wow.
Okay, that is when the glitter comes in. That is when the flowers come in. That is when the yellows.
So what you're saying is that the attires we see on sale, of course, you call them that buibouis and the hijabs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The ones we see on sale with the beautiful colors, beautiful glitters are haram.
They're not haram.
Okay.
They just have a place where they're supposed to be put.
Where is that place?
In the house.
So let me maybe clarify. Hijab is a dress code whereby we are prescribed to dress differently or in specifically everywhere you go, every day of your life. From morning to evening, where you are, you're supposed to dress accordingly. When I'm at home with my children and my husband, I don't put on like this. Okay, because my husband is supposed to get the 180% of my carbs. Okay, yes, you're saying yes.
You said 180.
1,000 or 2. I don't know. I wanted the percentage to get off.
Over 100. Okay.
But the minute I'm getting out of my home,
Cover up.
just cover so that that judging you because of your beauty stops from there.
Okay, so clearly the colored hijabs, the ones that have glitter and all this, the tight ones are supposed to be
yellow ones. They are inside the home or with your relatives.
Wow.
So why is it that we're seeing I'm not going to say every single lady. You've seen too many, the biggest majority of ladies, these are the ones that they're wearing to the mosque and every single day.
Sheikh is going to help me with the ayah, where the verse where Allah prescribes hijab. It's, I think, in Surah Ahzab and Nur somewhere. But Allah prescribes hijab for believing women.
Okay. So are you saying that those women are not believers enough?
I don't want to say that.
Hajj, it has been cleared now.
It has been cleared, but mainly the dressing code. Women are made for men. Now, the honor of the wife is the husband. The husband is supposed to enjoy each and every part of the wife.
Okay.
But the wife is not supposed to share to other men the benefits of his husband or of her husband.
Yeah.
Now here we find married women, I don't know, going for competition for calves, so that they can do what? Supposing someone is attracted, what is the next? And secondly, we are not exclusively the people who have a dressing code. I have seen nuns and sisters in Catholic Church.
Even in
In
Uganda.
Catholic Church, putting on, they are very decent. And
Then the
they use
question-
borders and they use what they are carved and
Right.
what not. So, really, the essence of putting this, because one time I shared a taxi with a certain lady. She was trying to pull her skirt
Down.
but I said, but you are coming from home. Why didn't you put it?
I don't know why.
Now,
Yeah.
you know the essence of that is to attract you to see her thighs. That she's.
Let's step away from the clothes. I think that one has now been.
And thighs are
Before, yeah.
thighs are haram for anybody who is not your wife. By the way.
What is
Wait.
it? Thighs.
No, every part of the woman, even touching her, I can't. I am not allowed to touch her because she's not my wife.
Wow.
Yes.
To conclude the dressing code, because dressing code is there for males and females.
Right.
Hijab is for males and females. But the first statement was, if you feel you have something beautiful, something
Cover
that
it
you
up.
feel
Conceal it.
great on you, just cover it so that you uncover it for the right people.
Let me ask you a question. Of course, you being, how will I put it, you've gone ahead of, the rest, and you know all these things. You even came with the Quran. What have you done to ensure that sanity is brought back in the Muslim culture with regards to the dress code? Because if you're seeing young ladies, walk into mosques with, now I know a hijab is not supposed to be colored, it's not supposed to be glittered, it's not supposed to be worn outside the home. So what are you doing to make sure that you remind these young ladies that this is the best way to carry yourself in modesty, this is halal, this is haram? Are we not the ones who are supporting this because we're not condemning it, for example? Maybe you can take it, and also Hajj takes it.
We are here. We thank you for inviting us. I think today morning we have done something. I'm involved in a number of what do we call it, Islamic activities. We have an organization called PAM Professional Counselors, where we visit schools and universities. We talk to these ladies and even the boys, because hijab, even we haven't touched the girls.
We're getting to the boys.
We shall get there.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's very good. So we go to schools. We talk to the ladies. We share posts. But this is a responsibility of you, me, and him, because decency brings sanity in the community. Decency brings sanity in office. It will bring sanity in schools. People will I think they will, communicate better if they don't judge. If someone is talking to you and then the thighs, you look at you, you're too yellow. You should be. It's hard to communicate without the eyes going there. That is what it is, and that is the power women have. If only the women knew their strength, they don't have to put the calves out. They don't have at all.
Okay.
David, don't forget about makeup.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going. Now we have covered the clothes. Let's leave those clothes for now. Let's go to makeup, hair, makeup, makeup, and hair, and then makeup.
What are the rules in the Muslim
I think it's
faith?
nearly the same thing.
No makeup?
It's nearly
Or
the same
should
thing.
there be makeup?
When
And how
women,
much makeup?
the minute you have to move out, if you have done, if you have made yourself up, because first and foremost it's for you. You're in the mirror and you put this and then you rub it and then it's you and your image. Then you're like, okay, if you have a husband and you're like, how do I look? And then you move out. The minute you add anything on yourself,
After leaving the house.
you're still in the bathroom or in the room or on your dressing table, and you are adding something and you cover.
After the gentleman has said.
After you've put lipstick, after you've done makeup, all the makeup. I don't want to say.
After that, you cover.
Yes. If you're going to move out, you do not put on makeup. Actually, our Prophet only accepted. Only accepted us women to put on kohl on the eyes, because it's okay makeup, but it's medical. When we dip deeper, this skull on the eyes, probably the viewers are seeing it. It's medical for the eyes. You know, we have a dusty environment and all that.
Yes.
And maybe not to be so plain, because the woman needs that boost. Naturally, we need that, you know. Then once you're coming back, get into your home, have a shower, and then write on yourself. For who? For the people who are close to you. For people who appreciate you.
I feel like
that is your husband, your children, people who enjoy your beauty, not for anybody.
What has happened then? Because it seems like there's a lot of liberty now with the Muslim ladies. It's Ramadan now, but we move in the streets and we see them very well made up, in very, you know, yes.
Some of these issues, I don't have authority to pass fatwa. There is the final ruling.
I think the Quran has been very clear.
Please. There is a final ruling. We have our higher sheikhs, for example, the color of the hijab. It has whether it has to be only black or what not, then we can refer that to those Sharia people who are conversant with the jurisprudence. You see, in Islam, we have different subjects for different people. And the Quran is here, but the interpretation, there are those who are specialized in that. I think for that case, we can stop at that. But the question I'm going to answer is, why is it there is liberty?
Yes.
This government is not, I mean our government, you see, we'll talk as Muslim, we'll talk about that. Now women activists come in.
Oh, yes.
I heard of a certain, a long time ago, we heard of, was it something monologue? People were trying to bring, to agitate for it, and now people, we were against this homosexuality. Others were trying to come in. You know, this is a secular what government? It's only for those who are filled with Iman. For us, we preach, but we don't have ultimate authority
to condemn.
We don't have, no, we condemn, but we can't ban it, because this is a secular state. What we do is we preach. Either you take it, we remind you. Either you take it or you leave it.
Let's leave the ladies. I feel like a winner this morning because we had this conversation yesterday, and
with her,
with her and the team, and I think
yes.
Let's get to the men.
Yes.
There seems to be a lot of concentration on the women.
Yes.
Less on the men.
Yes.
Quite understandably, because men are not attractive in the way women are.
Exactly.
But have you seen anything in the men's dress code that needs to be attended to?
Yes, there are some fashions. I don't know which intention they brought those trousers for you.
These jeans with cuts.
Apart from cuts, they enlarge here some parts here. They make a sort of special area here. You find a man showing. I mean, those things are not supposed to be shown by everybody.
How is a man supposed to dress?
Like I have dressed
every day.
It can be, but the other time I think I came in a trouser.
Yes.
Which was very
free.
Oh, so what do you mean the trouser should be free? It shouldn't be tight.
Free.
How free are we talking? Is my trouser?
You're good.
Is my trouser free enough?
You are good.
It is good.
Yeah, you are good. So, but there are those who put on this. I mean, skinny jeans. For what?
There are also men who showcase their chest. So you find a man with a shirt like David's, but
even traditionally here in Uganda, it's not allowed to show their chests.
This is me.
So a Muslim man, if at all he works in an office setup where he's supposed to put on a suit, he's supposed to button up to the top, put on a tie,
Otherwise,
exposing
nothing.
Showing
this for who?
Yeah.
Are you going to wrestle? To wrestle who? Yes.
Actually, I need to come in here again. We have the standard, whereby when you get off that, you're overboard. First and foremost, a Muslim man should not move with a cloth that is below the knees.
Below the knees?
As in above the
knee.
You're supposed to cover from your knees up to the navel. That is the standard.
Okay.
If you have that, I think you can move anywhere.
And then the shirt?
That is the standard.
The shirt? A vest?
we
No vest?
have not gone to the shirt or the vest. That is the standard, because that is where the private is.
Okay.
That is where the private is.
Yeah.
But now we come to the setting though, of where you have to work with people, you have to interact in all sports, office wear, lecturing, shopping. You're going to the shop. You first and foremost you cover the attraction point. And you have some attractive parts. That is from the knees up to the navel. The rest is okay.
Many will say the arm is also attractive if you go to the gym and make it look all big.
You'll work a lot on your attraction, men. It needs a lot of work, but we have the medical bit of it. When today males are fond of putting on tight pants, and then we have a lot of cries in the bedroom, whereby women are saying, there is no work. But in Buganda, or culturally, even in Karamoja, the men's private parts were supposed to be given space.
To breathe.
to
And exist.
move, So maybe to not even be so Islamic and religious. If you want work,
you have to
give that. That is why we you put on this kanzu and everything is so free. And
Okay. All right. As we come to a close, the director is telling us that you're running short of time. Unfortunately, we wish we had all the time. This is an interesting conversation.
So we will
have you back again.
All
right. What are your last comments with regards to this matter? You can touch on women and men as well.
You see, as I told you earlier, that haram is standard and halal is standard.
Yes.
You either dress Islamically or you dress worldly. But the inside thing, because it's a self-discipline. Religion is self-discipline. Either you do it correctly or you do it wrongly, or you leave it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, as you answer, that's your last comment. If I'm a Muslim, for example, I am compliant and submissive to all other rules, but when it comes to my dress code, I want that freedom. If I die, will I go to
hell?
To hell?
That is
because many times, even with children, the reason why they keep doing the wrong things they do is because they don't know
the consequences,
the consequences of what they are doing. So can you please line out the consequences?
First of all, you are dressing half nakedly because you feel free.
Yes.
After all, even you are disturbed by these street boys.
Not even half naked.
Touching your butts and whatnot, and you say, and you don't like it, and you feel it free. For example, for like the one, the way she has put on, she can hardly be disturbed by those street boys. But some of you, exclusive, can be disturbed by those boys.
All right, and
because of showing their butts.
And in terms of the standards, like you outrightly pointed out, that colored hijabs are supposed to be the attractive hijabs are supposed to be at home.
For that color part, we said that I think we'll leave it to
all right. But the extreme part,
let us go.
God created us to worship Him. That is the principle.
Ultimate,
And because we're supposed to worship Him, then we are in an examination room. Okay, the marks you get will get you where you will belong.
Okay.
So if you've decided to leave out hijab, I don't know if you know the marks that are in hijab, then you go ahead. Like Sheikh has said, you take it or leave it. But the consequences are there here on earth and in the hereafter.
Okay.
And my final word is, all of us out there, let us read. Just read, whether you're Christian or just read. We have these phones. Information is there. Today, I think the day of judgment is soon, because they tell us when the day of judgment is coming close, everything will be in open. Whereby you no longer have reason to say, I don't know. Okay.
Thank you very much. Very, very, very. I love the conversation.
that was hot, eh?
That was hot.
And brutal.
To the ladies out there, I know many might fail to make it to work today because
it's principle. Take it or leave it.
Thank you very much, Zaitun Kachama and Hajin Serko Mutumba, the PRO, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Thank you very much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you, and especially during Ramadan. Next week when we have you, let's get you ready for it.
Inshallah. This time we
want to find out, because we were going through Lent recently, and every week is a different week. There's this week for this week for that. Next week we want to break down the weeks of Ramadan, and what they mean, and what Muslims need to do during those weeks, and what they need to expect. That will be next week.
Inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. That is our Kickstarter conversation this morning. I know the feedback must be there on us.
I am sure it's fast and furious.
We'll get into that. Morning at NTV continues.